back to my channel. Today we're going to talk about what I believe is the real sequel to Borderlands 2, Borderlands 4, and why I think it's that way. So stay tuned and we'll talk about it. So now, Borderlands 4 isn't really the sequel to 2, obviously. There was a 3 in between. And let's talk about number 3. That was huge controversy about number 3, where it had a lot of good gameplay, a lot of guns, a lot of shooting. It also had those obnoxious twins that we always had to listen to over and over again. They'd always come in with a little stupid line. So it's almost like they had to drop memes all the time, or they constantly watched Rick and Morty on loop, and they just had to recreate all those comedy elements that they had. Now, they annoyed most people. Usually, you would turn your volume down, or you'd have another tab open on YouTube and listen to music while you're playing the game, so you wouldn't have to listen to their obnoxiousness. And they were a real letdown. So, Borderlands 2, Handsome Jack was our enemy that we were trying to kill, trying to go after. His comedy was spot on. He was hilarious. Everything he said was so funny. It made you want to play the game over and over again. To try the different classes, because you knew that you'd hear those same jokes over and over again, but they'd be funnier. They'd be funny. It wouldn't be cringeworthy like Borderlands 3 was. Now we have to think, why did they make this game the way they made it? Now, when they first started making development for the game, those kind of jokes and humor were funny, but by the time the game released in 2019, most people had moved on from that kind of humor. What they found funny back then wasn't funny then, now. So it's really hard you're developing a game at a certain time, and what's funny then, you can't make humor be funny forever. Not many people can do that anyway. Usually it gets outdated. So, they were building a game for that time period, and of course development for a game takes years and years. So, 3 years later, they came out with this game, which might have been funny back in 2016. It's not funny now. It's barely, listenable. You want to turn it off. So as we move into Borderlands 4, it looks like they actually looked themselves in the mirror and was like, what can we do? We've had so many complaints and disappointments from the fans of the series. What did we do wrong? Where can we go from here? How can we improve things? And I believe they've done a lot of that. So the humor has been toned down a lot. It's not like this dark and gritty Call of Duty shooter with a story. It's still got the humor elements that Borderlands is known for and loved for, but it's not in your face all the time. It's a kind of a little darker tone to it. So it's still funny, but they focused more on that. And, we always have had these billions and billions and billions of guns that the Borderlands franchise says, billions and billions of guns. You see all these giant caches of guns going flying everywhere, but ultimately we just we'd pick a few that we liked, and we'd see how long we could use them in the game and see how far we could get. And there was usually, like, I personally had 3 or 4 guns that I would use for different situations. But this one, they trying to make the guns that do fall down more enjoyable. So as far as the guns go in Borderlands 4, they're trying to make them more usable. So you won't always just turn a blind eye and keep what you've got. Different upgrades and different things. Like there was a Jacob sniper rifle we saw. We characterized it as the death machine just because it would kill everything in one shot, or it'd ricochet off a stone and then go to another one, and you see huge crit numbers pop out. But that was just one gun, and then we found another one afterwards, and so we moved on to that. So it's not like there's only 2-3 guns you're going to be going after and you're going to want to play with. There's multiple different variations of guns that actually are good in this one. So that's a change from where they've been before. And they have a new skill tree system, a little more complex than what we've seen in the past. Not as complex as, say, like a Path of Exile super giant skill tree like that, but more options to go from, more things to choose, more variety, we're hoping. So you won't have the same 3-4 builds everywhere, and that's the only ones that people use. Hopefully there'll be some variety, so a lot of different things. You can make up your own, and it's going to be just as good as somebody that's a meta player would be using, So that's the hope we're hoping on. So with all these changes that Borderlands 4 has thrown together, you got a new humor, a little less humor than the previous games. More guns meaning more things, a better skill tree to go along with it. We're hoping that this next installment will be the true sequel that we wanted when Borderlands 3 came out. go from Borderlands 2 to Borderlands 4 and just forget 3 ever happened altogether. Or it'll be a very small population of people that will actually be fond of that game. But most of us know that this is really the true sequel to Borderlands 2. But the emphasis on the gameplay and the character engagement, those are all things that are a big evolution for the franchise. And hopefully going forward, they will keep on this trajectory and not take these little hiccups like they did with Borderlands 3. So what do you think about this new game? Is it going to be your new Borderlands 2? Or are you one of the ones that love Borderlands 3 and tell me how wrong I am about how great of a game it was? Whatever your comments are, put them down in the comments below. If you could like and subscribe to the channel, we'd greatly appreciate it. And on the next video, we will probably be talking some more Borderlands. So we will see you on the next one. Take care.